Hi, it's Chef Mike Panja, and we're going to do one of my favorites today. It's a favorite because it's kind of easy to do. The ingredients aren't too exotic. The process is not that difficult, and it always draws raves from the diners I've served it to. So, we're going to make fajitas. Or we'll go one step further and turn our fajitas into chimichangas, if you like. I think you'll enjoy it. It's fun to do. Results are delicious. It's not complicated, so let's get on with it. This recipe is pretty simple. We're going to slice some onions. We're going to take some bell peppers cut in strips and some fajita seasoning. The meat we're going to use today is going to be a skinless, boneless chicken thigh, but you could just as well use pieces of beef. It'll work great. You can make a beef fajita instead of a chicken fajita. Okay, let's get started. For each person, we want to take about 2 slices of a large onion. I prefer Vidalia. It has a nice gentle taste to it. And what I like to do is take these large slices and cut them in half right through the middle so that we get strips of onion rather than circles of onions like onion rings. Now for each fajita you'll need about 8 strips of bell peppers. I have mine frozen, so all I have to do is defrost them. But if you're going to use fresh bell peppers, just slice them up like this and that'll work fine. Now peppers contain a lot of water naturally, so at this step, since I did have to defrost them, I have that extra water and I'm going to dump it out. Now for chicken, I recommend a skinless, boneless thigh. I think that'll be the tastiest one. And I'm going to cut it into strips, about 1/2 inch wide. And if any of them are any longer than about 2 inches, I'm going to cut them in half. So we'll see that in a second. Also, for sanitation reasons, I prefer you don't use your wooden cutting board for cutting chicken or any other meat. Now when I make fajitas I use a wok, but you don't have to. You can use any skillet, it'll work fine. Medium heat, and I use a neutral oil like canola oil. Get about 1/4 inch of depth in the bottom of your pan, and then a good practice would be to roll it around so that the sides of the pan also have some coating. Okay, you can hear that sizzling. I threw a drop of water in to see if it'll sizzle, if the oil is hot enough. Anyway, start with your meat, whether it's chicken or beef. And the reason is, any fond that we get, any of the stickings to the bottom of the pan that we get, will add to the flavor of the other ingredient. All I want to do is cook these enough that the pink is gone on the outside. And after less than a minute, I'm going to go in with a fork and turn the individual pieces so that the pink side is facing down and it cooks also. And these very small pieces cook very fast anyway. So get them all turned over, and once there is no more pink, I am happy and I'm going to take them out. Okay, everything is cooking away. I'm going to use a spider, that's this thing, and scoop the meat out. The reason I'm using it is I want to get very little liquid in my plate of ingredients. Now we're going to put everything in this same plate. Next up will be the onion. Now we want to cook these until they are soft. Okay, I think they're about done, and I am going to put them on the plate with the chicken. And now I'm going to go in with my spider again and take these onions out. Now the peppers. By the way, we have to thank my daughter Adelina. That's why I'm making this today. It's one of the things I often make when she comes by. We have it for lunch, and it's one of the things that she really likes that I do. And she wanted to make some for her boyfriend and asked me, so don't you have a video on that? And I said, I think I do. I went through all of them. I have about 100 videos out there, and I found that I do not, in fact, have one for fajitas. So I'm making this one. After a few minutes, this is an optional step, but I like to do it. The way I toss the chicken, turn the pieces over. Do the same thing with the peppers, so they don't cook all on one side and leave the other side not so cooked, okay? Okay, they look pretty good. I'm gonna scoop them out and put them with the rest of our ingredients. Now at this point, I want to get rid of as much of the liquid as I can. So I'm going to take the whole plate of ingredients that we did already, bring them over to the sink, and dump whatever liquid I can get out of them. And the same with the pan. We don't need all of this liquid anymore, so I'm just going to dump it out. And once you've taken the liquid out of your fried ingredients, I want you to very lightly salt them. Now, over very low heat, add back all the ingredients to your pan and add your fajita seasoning. Now, you can buy fajita seasoning ready-made, but I'm going to give you my recipe for making your own in just a minute. So put it on pretty generously. Stir it all in. Get it distributed evenly. And once that's evenly spread, you can turn the heat off and go find your tortillas. Now, I have a video where you can make your own tortillas. Delightful. Not what we're going to do today. I'm going to use store-bought tortillas in the interest of time and simplicity. As promised, here's my recipe for fajita seasoning. You can store it in an airtight container indefinitely. Now I'm going to take a store-bought tortilla, put it on a paper plate. Incidentally, when you're shopping for these, buy the biggest ones you can find. Bigger the better. Now the tortilla goes into the microwave very quickly. About 15 seconds is enough, just to get it a little bit warm and flexible. Out of the microwave, and now we're going to start to fill it. Now, to help seal this thing when I roll it up, I take a little bit of warm water and a pastry brush. I'll give you a little secret. It's not really a pastry brush. It's a very cheap paintbrush that you can get at Home Depot for like 79 cents. Buy a handful of them. When they start to look a little ratty, throw them away, get some more. Let's take a closer look at the technique we're going to use to roll these up. First of all, we mentioned the wetting of the edges. So we'll wet them with our pseudo pastry brush. Now position your filling towards the end closest to yourself. And then start to roll it. Use your fingers to hold the stuffing back into the roll. Wet the top of the roll because that's going to hit up against the far side and we want it to stick. Here's the tricky part. I want you to take the sides and fold them inward. Kind of in a straight line in the direction you're going to be rolling. Okay, let's wet those also because we want them to stick together when we roll them. Okay, here we go. And that's how the thing should look when we're done rolling it. We have a perfect fajita. But we're going to go one step further and make it into a chimichanga. Turn the heat on low. And you're going to have to put a little extra oil in your skillet so the thing doesn't stick. Rolling that around a bit. Okay. Now, where we have the fold side here, we want to put that down so it doesn't unroll. Now the idea here is every 35 seconds or so, we're going to turn it a little bit so we can toast it on all sides. We'll turn it a little bit, press it down so it makes good contact with your skillet. Well, I'm calling it done. Dress with a little salsa or sour cream if you like. Well, there you have it. I think you'll agree it's not too complicated. The ingredients aren't exotic, and it's something you can put together easily in your home kitchen. Not a problem. And it's something that I guarantee you, your guests, your family, whoever you serve this to, is going to really enjoy it. Well, I hope you're going to do it. I hope you're going to enjoy these. I also hope that you're going to share this video with other friends, relatives that you know are interested in cooking and food and learning new things, and ask them to subscribe also. I'm guessing that you've subscribed and that's why you're watching this. If you haven't, please make sure you do. Your subscriptions are really my applause and my payment, along with your comments. If you have any suggestions, ideas, thoughts, criticisms, I'd like to hear them, and I will always answer. You can also email me if you prefer that method. It's chefmikepanja@gmail.com. Well, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Cualquier señor y señorita from Mexico to Costa Rica enjoys a plump fajita. Tasty yet uncomplicated, even novice cooks can make it. Praised by all who ate it. It's time for you to make it. Fajita bonita, vamos a echarla con fajita sabrosa. Alegría ya estar.